Hello, it is Monday. My daughter is done with school, but she has a rash, so she's home and a little bit sick. All that fun jazz. I'm going to be trying out the Necro Beta today. Again, I want to try out an LON set that I was going to be trying out Friday, but I got interrupted a little bit, just a little bit. And let me adjust my camera. As you can see, I got a new background thingy for right now. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's take a look at this. Bam! DIABLO. Oh man. So anyway, over the weekend I found out that they have a thing called Jolly Rancher Pop-Tarts, which was kind of interesting. I went ahead and got those, and they taste wonderful. Honestly, I got the watermelon kind. Ooh, was not bad. Was actually good.
Embrace your power, and you will survive. We'll rip these things to shreds.
That is not possible. Free now, angel.
It was an interesting weekend. I went to go see Alien movie, a new one. Which, by the way, I really liked. I'm not gonna give any kind of spoilers or anything away, but it was really good, except it was really slow. My wife, in fact, she said the same thing. She was like, "This is a really good movie, but it is extremely fucking slow." I'm like, that's Ridley Scott for you. But it was really good. It was really worth the watch. Highly suggest if you ever get time to go give it a shot. See what that Aliens is all about. I don't know. I quite fucking enjoyed it. It was great. Dun, 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 dun. Played quite a bit of Heroes of the Storm this weekend too. Ended up playing quite a bit on Team League on it. Yeah. Bye bye bye. Mm. Hold on one sec. All right, there we go. Just a traveling around, just a singing my song.
Can't do that.
This is a pretty chilled stream this morning. Just relax a bit. I don't know, I'm feeling this set. I'm liking the build.
Yours.
Could change out a few things though, as I get it, if I get it. Alright, boots. I don't think there's anything specific for them boot-wise that does anything wonderful. If I'm correct. I think these are the only boots. And it's when you use Blood Rush. So maybe we'll go dig through Kadala and see. We'll get some more shards. Let's go ahead and try some graders.
Ready? Then your trial begins.
Give it more time.
You know, honestly, I don't see the reason in using bone armor main hand, but mainly just using bone armor as a stun, and the main hand increases damage of your secondary skills. But does that increase the hex? I don't know, honestly. What up, OG? What's going on this morning, man? On a good old Monday. I'm hot and fresh off the relaxing weekend. Just work? How you doing? I'm doing good, man. Nice and relaxing stream this morning. I went to go see the new Aliens movie over the weekend. Ate some of those new Jolly Rancher Pop-Tarts, which was kind of interesting. It was nice just to sit back, relax, and test out some of the stuff this morning that I wanted to test out, but just kind of chilling on the weekend. Well, my daughter went over the weekend to her grandparents, but she had some kind of allergic reaction over the weekend to something, so her skin kind of broke out, like a little red rash. Oy. But she's a trooper this morning. How's work treating you? Oh yeah, she's doing fine. She not like itching or anything like that. I think she just had some kind of reaction to something in the comfort. Might have touched or something.
That needs to recharge.
I'm liking this set, this little build that I'm trying. I wanted to try a pure primary, no secondary like casters with the qualic right here, and just pets, pure pets, to see what it could do. It's pretty fun actually. I'm actually having an easier time on this than I did on some of the other sets that I've built. Probably not the best, but it's still pretty fun. I'm basically using Siphon Blood in conjunction with this one to where you cast a free Blood Nova when you're siphoning at like full health. So I'm kind of just like doing some Blood Novas at the same time. Pretty fun. The only problem is it's not like a poison, but I don't know. I think I need to like change out my the main hand though. Because this, honestly, isn't helping me. I think with the secondary skills doing 250 more, I don't think pets are considered like secondary skills, but I'm not sure. Or revive, because it doesn't cost anything. So I don't know if it has to cost anything for us to try.
By all reason.
I'm losing strength. Give it more time.
I don't know about you, but I'm like that type of person when something new comes out in the food department. I'm kind of interested in trying the shit. So they had those like new Jolly Rancher Pop-Tarts, and they have a cherry watermelon and green apple. I think I got the watermelon kind. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed trying out that stuff whenever it comes out, and I think those little limited edition flavor things, because it always sounds, whoa, now, pretty interesting. I'd give it a go at least once. Yeah, they're not bad. The weird thing about it though is it's like, I don't know, your traditional Pop-Tart tastes one way, and this like literally just tastes like they took a Jolly Rancher, melted it down, and put it in the middle of a Pop-Tart. So I guess if you're a fan of it, a fan of Jolly Ranchers, it's like, it's amazing. Which I like them, they're not bad. But they had this like, okay, so this is an amazing place that we went to over the weekend though, me and the missus. We wanted to get like pizza, and they have these like build your own pizza places. But there's this one that like they don't like charge you for extra toppings. They literally have just like a smorgasbord of different kinds of like cheeses and toppings and all this other stuff. And so like it's like a flat rate they charge you, and then you get to like put as many toppings as you want. So you can make this monstrosity if you want to. So you know, we ended up going eating, and I just created this monstrosity pizza. It was like an 18 meat type pizza with like 5 different types of cheeses. It was just, good lord, overkill. Shit was delicious though. But good god. I can clear 55 pretty easily with this. I have to run off to go rescue a client. I'll be back in an hour or so. Alright, man, good luck with it. Hope everything turns out alright with that client, boy. Alright, so let's take a look. Could I get rid of my main hand, technically? Yes. I think I could try out something else. Yeah. I do IT work for a business, so you know, I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, it's probably just virus. Man, I'm unemployed right now, but before I was doing IT too, and 90% of it was like, they're like, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my computer started acting funny. I'm like, you got a virus. Did you go on any weird websites? Oh no! Oh no! Look at internet history. It's like, well, your internet history says different. Really? Oh my god! I can't believe it. Like, oh man! And the best was doctors. They always had some funny excuse for it, and some of them would just come out right and they're like, I went to some very questionable websites. I got some viruses. I need you to clean it. Alright. Alright, let's try that. And let's get Kabbalah and do some boots. Here.
Don't forget, luck always changes. I am overburdened.
My stomach.
Alright, so let's try upgrading a rare item.
You have access to a wondrous artifact of old, and that's what you want to do with it. Very well.
Oh. Interesting. I forgot those boots existed.
You have access to a wondrous artifact of old. And that's what you want to do.
I wonder if I can make those work. That might be interesting. I would need some ancients of them though.
Small minds, small goals. I won't judge.
Well, I don't know, because in my offhand, my drain. I don't know, it's kind of a weird trade-off. It's like exactly the same as my offhand, except one requires me to be at full health, one just requires shooting shit. Alright, come on, give me some boots.
Access to a wondrous artifact of old, and that's what you want to do with it. Very well.
Ooh. Oh, damn. Nice. Those little perfect Buddhists that they gave me.
You have access to a wondrous artifact of old, and that's what you want to do with it. Very well. Not your worst idea. Not quite.
Just need something. Firewalkers wouldn't be bad. Because, I mean, it's just something that does something besides sit there. Alright, so let's see. Look at those boots. Beautiful. Alright, and then... Did I get any other ones? I don't think so.
We can't all be
Take a look here. Go through this crap. It's all shit. It's pure shit. Oh my god, my friend got me to watch a crap load. He loves this YouTube video of a guy named Xiaolonghua. Alright, and he's this Dota player, and he's a pure troll, pretty much. He just throws games. Like, he's a really good Dota player, but what he does is he gets into games and he purposely throws them to kind of like piss off his opponents, but he's doing commentary over the video. So he gets in these super high ranked games, and then he just begins to throw until, like, you know, he's dropped down in rating, and then, you know, he gets up back up into high rating. Yo, bro, what's going on this morning? So then he gets really high back up in rating, and then he continues to throw his games, and he does like this funny, like, you know, commentary about it. But it's just, some parts are really funny because he's just like, this game is such shit, and, you know, he's the one obviously throwing. But the positive reinforcement matches were probably the funniest thing out of the whole giant debacle of Xiaolonghua. Was he'd be like, let's go ahead and shoot our friends some positive reinforcement, and he just pinged them over and over and over again with like a well done, even if they weren't doing anything. So, you know, and then like he would just do something so dumb, and then he'd be like, oh no, okay, we gotta take care of this by pinging ourselves with some positive reinforcement, you know. Xiaolonghua. He made me watch like 7 videos of it. What's going on this morning, bro? What you doing? Doing that work thing. That's groovy. Rebecca developed a little bit of a rash over the weekend at Mom and Dad's, so she's being a little trooper right now, chilling. She took some Benadryl, kind of relaxing. Seeing what happens. If it doesn't go down, I'm gonna have to take it to the doctor look at it tomorrow, but so far it looks like it's starting to go away. She got those little allergies like me, apparently. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now. Oh, no reason. Oh, yeah, this, what ended up happening was that the other one, Rebecca ended up knocking down, because it's like, right now my apartment's a little too small for it. She ended up knocking it down on top of my desk. So, we found a little hanger thing, and it just hangs right there temporarily until, I can get like a better place, pretty much. A bigger place. Let me adjust something here. Alright. There we go. That's a little bit better. Ooh. There we go. That's a little bit better. Oh man, by the way, if you haven't seen the Dignitas versus the Team Liquid HGC Heroes of the Storm over the weekend, really need to go check that out. The VODs for it was a good match. It was also kind of funny because the guy from Team Liquid called out Dignitas or whatever and was like, yeah, we're gonna 3-0 Dignitas like easy. And it was just like, cool shit. So there was a lot on the line there, because if they would have won it 3-0, you know, if they won it 3-0, it'd be like ridiculous. So they had a lot to prove with it. It was damn good matches. Also, like, they have this third guy now that's like a caster, and Twitch chat has been like going crazy on him, like, third guy question mark, you know, blah blah blah. So Blizzard apparently has embraced this joke, and so like whenever they put their names at the bottom, they call like you know, it's like first guy, second guy, and then third guy. They have completely embraced the joke around it. But it was funny because when he first started, like, the rage that came out of Twitch chat, like, they did not enjoy the third guy at first, and then they started making the joke, you know, third guy question mark, and then all of a sudden he was okay. Everyone was pretty cool with him past there.
I'm afraid not.
Oh my god. Can't get close. No, fudge. No, fudge. Just kind of doing a chill stream this morning. Just relaxing, kicking back. Yeah, right after my thing ended, I died. Always fun. Gotta do a little bit of fighting here. Oh, man.
That is not possible.
Oh, man. Oh my god, not again, not again. Not again. I forgot to repair from the last one. Whoop. Oh, speed. So, I don't know what it is, but I mean, I'm doing the same level rift, but I do feel like, well, no, I'm sorry, I did pump it up. I was about to say, I was starting to feel like I wasn't doing as much damage as I was before, but I did pump up the rift, so that makes sense. So I was thinking maybe the other offhand might still technically be better. I mean, the other main hand might still technically be better. The AI on the golem's still funky, I think. Like, sometimes, like, actually attacks the target. Sometimes he just kind of wanders around wanting to do his own thing. Sockburner. Necro looks a lot of fun. He is. I've tried out all the sets, really. So I'm trying to do, like, a LON set right now, as you can tell. With just nothing but ancients and trying to mismatch the ancients. So I wanted to do like a pure pet build, not like the pet set, quote unquote, which just mainly revolves around skeleton mages and Army of the Dead. I wanted to actually try like golem, revive, skeletons, only using primary skills, so that I'm using the right here, the Karass, and then using the pants for primary, using Siphon Blood to proc the chance to shoot a Blood Nova. And it's working out, it's not that bad. The sad thing is I can push farther with just this weird kind of thrown together primary build than I could with any of the other sets besides the pet set. So, besides the bone set, or the, you know, the Army of the Dead set. But yeah, it's like we're super fun, super worth it, man. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Alright, let's Guardian proc. I don't have that want to beat it, but if I get my Land of the Dead up in time, probably just wipe her out in 2 seconds. There we go. There we go. Wipe her out. Wipe her out. Boop. 2-second kill. Perhaps they don't want to make it like Diablo 2. I'm sure they'll figure a way out, man, the right balance. Yeah, I figure that's what they were kind of going for. They didn't want like a Necro to run around with a gigantic army and just not do anything by himself. So that's kind of why they built the sets that they are, is that they kind of had like more of a balance feel to them. Which right now they do. They need to change some things though. Some of the sets are really lackluster. Like for instance, the blood set's lackluster completely because right now poison is just ruling with this weapon. The bone set right here is fun, but it kind of it's not amazing, you know. You're still kind of squishy, and the damage that it increases it by is not that much, 850%. You have to be like right on top of them. And this set's just this is good. This one they found a good balance for, and this one's fun, but it doesn't have potential to push at all because that corpse lance that comes out is actually less damage than the skill corpse lance. It's like 100% less damage than the actual skill itself, and it's not increased by anything throughout the set. And the only thing that's increased is bone spear. So it feels very weird.
Well done.
But they're working on it. It's still beta. Fresh up into the beta. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get it all worked out eventually. Ooh. Well, I'm mainly using this to cool down this faster. Keep it just in case. Closed beta feels bad. They should be going into open eventually, man. It's not going to be too long. Don't have to worry about that. Maybe I give it like a few more weeks, maybe less than that. Because they were talking about it recently in like Reddit forum, I think it was, where they were saying like they want to progress it and push it. But yeah, man, the minute it opens up, get in there, test this stuff, have some fun with it. What class you currently play, Talkburner? Witch Doctor? Oh man, it's gonna feel right at home with it. I never played Witch Doctor myself, but a lot of people say that it kind of feels like the sets almost, you know? And it kind of feels almost like a Witch Doctor. Even though they tried to avoid it, it still ended up kind of being just a little bit like it. Oop. Was playing Necro and Diablo 2. Same here. I was full on Druid and Necro. Those were like my two favorites. I loved Werewolf Druid. Oop. Oh, and was it Hurricane, I think the spell's name was? I think it was like Hurricane. I did a Hurricane Druid for a while too. I just run around with Hurricane on and walk in circles. Yeah. But my primary was Necro. I used to love. I got the rune word on the chest piece for teleport, and you know, you just go like a full-on revive build with pets or whatever, and you just teleport on top of mobs, and it like, because it would reset the attack time on the on your pets whenever you teleport. You could teleport on top of them, and it would reset the attack time, and you just instantly kill almost everything, because everything you had would just attack at one time.
I must wait longer.
Uh-oh. No! Alright, I will. Kind of wondering if I could switch out bone armor, since technically I'm not using the main hand anymore for it. I never tried Hurricane Druid, but I saw a lot of people run it. Yeah, you can put some crazy stuff together. Hurricane Druid was fun. It was just boring at one point or another. You'd always hit that like really boring stage, because you're literally casting Hurricane and then just running around in circles. And you can throw in other stuff, but it doesn't really do that much, you know? Until they implemented synergies, and then once they implemented synergies, it got a little bit more funner. And you can actually do shit with it. And it wasn't just like you sitting there running around in a circle with a Hurricane around you. Kind of using bone armor for stun though. Wonder what I could switch it out with. Damn hallway. Kind of the bane of the Necro right now, this hallway. That's one thing they kind of need to balance though, is that neck piece. It's way strong, man. If you get a lot of cooldown reduction. It's pretty damn strong. I really wanted to try, honestly, a Thorns build, but I don't have any of the items in order to do a Thorns build. I need Heart of the Iron. I would need that sword. Ancient items, pretty much. What the fuck? Oh, did I just walk a complete circle without paying attention? Yes, I did. This LON set's just also kind of thrown together. I mean, like, it's not... I don't have the perfect items specifically for certain things, so...
potions.
They should add the Necro to skill calculator. Oh, yeah. You talking about on Diablo fans? Yeah. Kind of falling behind on this one because of my little run around I had to do. See if we can't find ourselves some.
The night embraces you.
Let's go into that one. Let's see if we can get some stuff to catch up. This rift might be a bust.
All must serve the cycle. I must wait.
Can you show the skills and runes after the rift? Yeah. No problem, man. You want to see all the skills and runes, or you just want to see the ones I'm using? You want them using? Yeah, that's not a problem.
This world can abide you no longer.
This rift might be a bust. I'm not really getting any elite packs at all, and it's very scarce. It's not going too good right now. Yeah, I know it's around. Oh, there's an attack.
All must serve the cycle. I'm using flame.
Alright, alright. Here's something good. There we go. As long as we can spawn the Rift Guardian before the timer, Even if it's like 30 seconds, if I have Land of the Dead, he's dead. So, we just need to spawn. And wow, this is really good.
Give it more time.
That's a little bit better. Oh, and it ends instantly. Alright, let's go find it. Come on, give me some good stuff here. I feel like it's a weird thing too that like Siphon Blood sometimes feels like it does like incredible damage, like right there, and then sometimes it just feels like it does 0. I don't know what might be going on with that. I gotta save my land for the Roof Guardian. We can spawn it without it. It'll be very nice. That way I'm not worrying about a cooldown. Come on, 98%. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Alright. Yeah, but easy. Alright. I'm sorry, baby.
I am skilled at clarifying gems.
Alright.
I need to go back.
Alright, I'll give you a look at the stuff that I'm using here. Let's see.
Impressive.
Alright, so first things first, I'm using Siphon Blood with the Power Shift, Poison. Basically just damage is increased by 10% every time damage is dealt, stacks 10 times. I'm using Bone Armor right now, the Poison for the stun. I'm using Revive, Horrify, the poison kind. It just basically fears them, but it turns the damage into poison. Command Skeleton's Poison, you use it, they explode as 80% weapon damage to enemies within 15 yards. Command Golem Poison, he eats a corpse, gains 30% damage per corpse. And then all Land of the Dead Poison, all corpse skills can be used for 10 seconds. Land of the Dead deals up to 10,000% weapon damage over its duration. I use it in conjunction with Revive and Command Golem because of this neck piece. Each corpse consumed by Land of the Dead increases damage by 10% for 10 seconds after it ends. So as you can see, like usually when I pop Land of the Dead, how many stacks I can get. So 10% times 159, and that's the increased damage. Yeah, you could drop all of them. Alright. Yep. I'm using this to reduce the cooldown of Land of the Dead. Attacking with Siphon Blood while at full health has a chance to cast a free Blood Nova. So it's just like using the primary skill only. Primary skills that generate resource deal an additional damage. So pretty much with this. The Cuirass for more tankiness. How strong are the skeletons? Pretty strong. They don't die often. And they do 50% weapon damage. And you have a maximum of 7. They don't die too often. I mean, I've seen them die, but it's not often at all. Using this because it's the only legendary I got that's a hand item. Using this because it's the only legendary I got that's a shoulder item that has it's an ancient. After consuming 16 corpses, you unleash a free Death Nova. Enemies knockbacks suffer increased damage. And the sash, you throw a dagger for more physical damage. A lot of it's just filled with stuff that I can actually get that's ancient.
A caravan made it through with some new goods.
Oh, I would love to have that belt as an ancient. And right now I'm just trying to get some better boots. Something that'll actually work with my just like anything.
Do come back again. I am overburdened.
I suppose that will work. Small minds, small goals. I won't judge.
Anything's better than what I got, because what I got actually adds 0 to anything. So even if it's Firewalkers, it's just something better than this.
Oh, very well. Not what I would do, but when is that stopping?
Just something for now.
Yes, I see. Oh, very well. I suppose that will work. Small minds, small goals. I won't judge. Very well. You have access to
Oh,
one
come
result.
on, just something.
And that's what you want to do.
Help me out here.
Very well.
You found my Pop Tarts. You can try, you can eat them, man.
I suppose that will work.
My daughter's super excited about the Jolly Rancher Pop Tart she just found. Let's see. Okay, well, you know what? Oh, that's a bust. Let's see. 901. Alright. I also just remembered that I just got some other boots that are these right here because it's a Primal Ancient. Primal Ancient. Perfect. God, man. I would love to have that cooldown belt. And any kind of boots. I'd also love to have any kind of gloves that are a little bit better. Wasn't there... Am I wrong in this? Wasn't there a... Oh, God, what was it? And... What I might want to try instead of bone armor, though. Frailty scent of blood.
Does it look bad?
Let's try frailty scent of blood. Let's give that a shot. Oh wow, my guys are stuck at the entrance. There we go.
These enemies defy all reason.
I can't do that. I must wait longer. All must serve the cycle. Heal me.
Huh, okay. I'm starting to find though that a lot of my damage just comes from Land of the Dead and then just fucking siphoning after Land of the Dead damage. In between there it's just all filler. So having frailty, honestly, with that doesn't really help at all, because it's not like they're really the main contention of damage. It's just kind of there to, one, distract, and two, pick them down a little bit while I wait for Land of the Dead on this. I don't know. Really strong. I don't know. Whoa now. Decrepify and borrow time for cooldown reduction. I might just try that. That might work a little bit better actually. I'm definitely looking at that after they get out of this one. Decrepify, borrow time. I didn't think about that one. Because I really, yeah, I feel like this isn't really helping a whole lot in any sense. Clear out the doorway. Let me in there. That wasn't the last one, was it? Because my weapon didn't proc. Or was it? Pretty much the only one that looks useful. Yeah. Decrepify kind of looks a little rough, unless you're doing the support build for Necro. Could be fun to try. Yeah, it could be. The only problem, I fall into that line where I don't think it's like poison damage. That's the sad thing, is like a lot of the damage just comes because of the poison skill stacking. That's kind of going on right now. They need to adjust a little bit for that, so it's not so poison heavy on everything right now. Is my weapon not working for some reason? Because like earlier I killed an elite pack and it didn't proc. So I don't know what's going on there. Oh, fuck. Wasn't paying attention there. Alright, alright. That's right, I just don't feel like frailty's adding much right now to it. I really need... I'll try that Decrepify, that'll work. Try that out and see how it goes. Oh, Sackburner, thanks for the follow too, dude. Appreciate the support. Oh, no. That's how the ring works. It says 1% per curse. I just remember I have to curse to get my cooldown reduction up, and then use the ability.
I can't do that. I must have a talk. It embraces you.
Probably have a cap. Yeah, we'll check it out. This one's kind of a bust. We're gonna go ahead and just restart it and try it. Because that frailty's not working out at all. Bone armor was actually working out better just because it increased my damage by extra 100%. I'm still wondering if that weapon increases pet damage, though. I need to check that out. This one right here. Wow. Because it says secondary skills also deal 200% of weapon damage while bone armor is active. Is the pets considered secondary skills, or are they considered something else? Because they... I don't know. Like when you activate them, that's the secondary skill. And that's what it increases the damage of. So if that's the case, that's crap. Because the golem's activation eats stuff, and those just explode for only 80% weapon damage. So I don't know. I don't know if it's better. Alright, let's see. Let's take a look. Alright, Decrepify. Borrow time. Gain 1%. Up to a maximum of 20%. 20% is still high, considering I'm at, right now, 41%. So 20% is actually still pretty high. The secondary skills are... Oh. Is that true? Yeah, true. Okay, so it only increases the damage of those. Alright, so yeah, then it's worthless to use with this. Okay. Try cutting it down just a little bit. Just so I could test this out. Oh, I see. Okay, so it does have like a counter right there. 12. 13. Yeah, I could just have read that it said secondary above the skills, couldn't I have? Okay, so I do see the benefit of it, and I see the downfall of this right now. Well, not the downfall, I should say, but the benefit and the bad thing. The bad thing is that if you refresh your curse on it, it doesn't just keep stacking up the number of times you curse. It's each individual monster, which kind of sucks. So just prop my land of the dead, you know, when that happens. Really good. Also seems like when they die, it removes the stat. So in order to get 20%, it's a little whack. There we go. So pretty much, you have them first, it gives you a stack, but the minute they die, the stack goes away. And you can't stack it multiple times on the same one due to that. I try using a revive helmet with that setup, you're gonna have 10 of them during... No, I have not, actually. I don't have an ancient of the helm right now. That's the only problem with that. I'm trying to get some more ancient items.
That is not possible.
But I definitely can try it once I get it. I don't know why. Everything's feeling like, because I got rid of bone armor, I'm starting to feel like it's relaxed. Just because bone armor added that stun survivability and a little bit, like 100% more damage on all the skills too. So it kind of helped with my survivability aspect of keeping them chain stunned. There we go. Yeah, but I could try the helm once I get an ancient of it. It actually sounds kind of interesting. No.
I require a corpse for that.
Fair enough, since they get 100%, it would be 10 revivals. The neck multiplier. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good. I'd definitely give it a shot, man. Sounds pretty good. I'm trying to go up there, then. I think you've been wanting to see someone test that for ages. Ah, Alex, thanks for the follow too, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You no longer. I can't do that.
Oh boy. Alright. God damn. Let's just go ahead and exit it.
I need to go back.
Oh, fuck. That's not working out. So, the helm that gives 100% per corpse. So let's go ahead and see. Which helm is that? I should probably test it before I go into greater.
Maybe you've heard of him.
Alright, so that helm is this one, right? I don't think I have any today. Alright, so is that in Element 1 or Element 2? Not sure. Alright, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check on my daughter real quick. Alright. She is grooving, not hungry, chilling in the front, having a good old day.
Are you ready? Then your trial begins.
Yeah, I do, but I was using pure poison. Mainly for the fact that I wanted to get the damage up also, and then bone armor and stuff like that. But the only problem with Devouring Aura is that by the time I get all my stacks, I'm one-shotting everything. So even if I get more, it doesn't help me as much as like maybe trying to get like a secondary skill that increases something else or something like that, you know? That was the only thing I'm finding. And then also, if I have the Devouring Aura on, it's eating corpses. So my normal revive gets fucked if I get too close to them. So I constantly have to like balance out trying to stay far enough away and all this other stuff. So like I said, at this point, the minute it procs, I'm pretty much one-shotting anything in the, even the highest greater rift that I can do once it finishes.
Night embraces you.
Exactly. That's kind of how this set ended up building. I mainly wanted to try to. The whole point of this one was I was trying to build something that just revolved completely around just having the pets, you know. Because the other set, that even the pet set, quote unquote, doesn't even really revolve around using anything with skeleton mages and Army of the Dead. And in fact, a lot of people only use skeleton mages, Army of the Dead, and then they fill it with the Land of the Dead proc, and just basically keep like permanent survivability on, you know. So kind of wanted to try something with like actual just like pets, like an old school Diablo 2 Necro. And I mean, it's kind of working out and it's kind of not working out. It's fun, it's cool, but it's hard to get like anything high up there in Torment and Greater Rift. shield will get nerfed for sure. Yeah, it will. They always said they don't like permanent anything. And having a semi-permanent, and I mean I say semi because you could pretty much have it up almost all the time depending on the situation. You can have permanent invulnerability. I don't think they like that too much, possibly. That or they'll keep it. Never know. Blood charge. Oh shit. So I feel a little bit squishier since I got. I mean, it's a good thought, and the cooldown reduction's okay, but I just feel like it's. I like end up getting wiped out a lot more because I don't have that stun there to buffer in safety, you know. Bell should be fine. And that's if they that's if they give us bracers and belts. I haven't seen anything about them wanting to add in more legendaries. Hopefully they do. They had bad bracers. Yeah, Necros have 0 bracers right now. And they also only have 1 belt.
These enemies defy all reason.
Which is a big factor. I wish they would have added in the bracers and stuff like that. If they do. I hope they do. Hope they don't just go like, well, it's the one class that doesn't have bracers. We'll add them in later at some point or another. Yeah, see, I felt like now that I added in bone armor back, I feel like it's working out better because I'm able to like stun them, keep them CC'd for a second, they get off my back. Phone armor kind of works out. I just wish the one of the ones that I really wish they would change is well, the poison thing for one, because I really want to use other skeletons. The whole reason you using poison skeletons is just for that. But I really wanted to try that command skeleton offhand that increases the damage of command skeleton by 30% every second it's active, because now command skeleton is a permanent thing. So it pretty much increases the damage of command skeleton permanently 30 seconds every second until the mob dies. So it's like really good for Rift Guardians. But the damage doesn't equal up to the poison skeletons unless it's been sitting there channeling it for like a good hot minute. Whoa, 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 what happened? Knock it down in a sitting ring, you can combo into APT braces. Yeah. It's this one right here. I really wanted to try. The damage bonus in command skeleton increases by 30% per second they're spent attacking the same target. So let's just say you're in a high rift, Rift Guardian spawns, you put it on it. Every second it gains 30% more damage permanently until the Rift Guardian's dead. But there's nothing that really works with it right now, Alright.
Such a brave soul.
Well,
Alright, boots. Boots. Well, yeah, without it, Necro can't compete. They could change it to like whatever element you use increases the damage of that element, stacking per element that you use. So then you could use it for bone and cold, instead of specifically just for poison. Something like that might work.
What a steal. What a steal.
That is too expensive.
Keep trying to get some stuff here.
Many Nephilim have stood where you are now, but few succeeded in overcoming the trial.
Oh, hi. Cold ion down mine too. You remember with the it was exactly the same as this weapon, like 100% cold damage. But there was a lot of ones that were data mined that was just like, oh my god. There was one that was, I remember before the legendaries came out that I was kind of like, that'll be kind of crazy, is your skeletons have a chance to apply a curse on attack. Like a random curse on attack. Oh, they didn't put it in. It was something like, when the enemy gets 3 curses, it takes. That'd be interesting. But I know why they didn't end up putting in the one I'm talking about, where the pets apply each a curse, is because they have that that primary attack that applies a curse, and they have a weapon that makes it to where it applies it applies a random curse. And then they have a weapon that you can get that guarantees that it always applies a curse. So that's why they didn't add that in. Hey OG, welcome back, man.
I require a force.
Still just on the hunt for some better ancient items. I'm discussing some of the weapons and stuff that was data mined that they didn't actually end up putting into the game. Also, that's another weird thing that's kind of glitchy since this patch. The name of it's gone. On almost all of them. Oops.
You will make a fine corpse.
There's also another one that Skeleton Mages get Singularity Rune and no longer consume Thought Essence, but might be boosted. Pet set of poisons left this work. Yeah. True. I still think they're going to be adding in stuff. There's a lot that still needs to be fixed, so. It's like the Bone Lance set. Like, they just changed something in a patch not too long ago, which made it now shoot a corpse lance instead of a corpse fragment. So it's affected by the runes and everything like that. But it didn't fix the underlying issue with the set, which is that it feels still one trick pony. You pretty much are spamming Bone Spear. And having Land of the Dead. Now they do feel like they're doing a little bit more, but I really think they need to just rework that set just a little bit. Make it to where it affects like all bone skills. Like Bone Spear increases the damage of all bone skills. So then you can do like Bone Spear, Bone Spirit. Or Bone Spear and then like something else, you know, or something, I don't know. Something that makes it feel more worth it to use. I made a boot. I keep doing that. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Your death nears. I'm afraid not. All must serve the cycle. I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not.
Defy all reason.
Nah. I just feel like I'm pooping on the screen or something to do with it.
All must serve the cycle. That is not possible.
Shield.
That is not possible.
Speaking of, I was talking to someone the other day about it, but, has anyone played a game called Dead Cells? Because, I've been thinking about getting it. Trying it out. Because it's like a 2D dungeon crawling platformer. Kind of reminds me of like the old Super NES 2D side scrollers, like Symphony of the Night and stuff like that. I was actually really kind of interested in trying it out.
That is not possible. Decay and rot. I need to go back.
Damn, mosquito bit me on my leg.
Well,
Is that the Heart of Iron? Ancient? Not ancient. Damn. That sucks. Man, if that would have been ancient, I would have been all over building a, Jesus, the damn... Oh, it's two-hander. Okay. If that was ancient, I would have been all over on building the thorn set. Alright, let's see.
Fortune favors the bold.
Let me see something. One sec, guys.
Enemies of the Nephilim surround you.
Alright, there we go. Just had to fix something real quick.
By all that is holy,
Having like a little bit of a technical difficulty.
My wounds are healed.
Can abide you no longer.
Crave not. Consumes you. Decay and rot.
How'd it go with your client, by the way, OG? Everything worked out alright?
Decay and rot. death nears.
I require a corpse.
When just needed some updates, she'll pay me very well for what it has me to do. So I always oblige.
All must serve the cycle.
My remembrance of the 2 worst days in like the 6 years that I did IT, one of the worst days was whenever they announced that all Windows XP was going to be no longer supported and not HIPAA compliant anymore. That was fucking terrible, because we had to end up updating all of our clients from XP to 7. Just hundreds of them, you know? And that was not fun, because a lot of them are just ridiculous what they had on their computers. So a lot of times we'd end up having to like wipe them out, rebuild computers from scratch. Each client would take like a few days just to get fixed. The other nightmare episode was whenever Windows 10 came out and it force pushed onto all kind of computers, and a lot of the computers, and not even just force push, sometimes people were like, oh look, an update, click. And a lot of the EMRs and shit don't work with Windows 10 because EMRs are just ridiculous. Oh, the aftermath was terrible. And a lot of like EMRs, some of them still require you to use like the oldest version of Windows that you possibly can. So it was just fucking terrible. It was a nightmare situation because we got the call the morning after they started pushing it to everybody, and my phone just exploded. And everyone's like, none of our stuff works anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? They're like, none of it works. I think the server's down. I'm like, oh god. And then I get another phone call. I think the server's... I'm like, oh my god, no. Just one after the other after the other. Luckily, the fix wasn't that hard for the Windows 10 shit, because you could just reverse it pretty easily. But it was just a time consumer, and then, it was crazy. 'Cause I woke up that morning having small heart attacks. Hey, Becky. Oh, you got Bell Bell? What's Bell Bell doing? Yo, Bell Bell. That's a pet hamster, Bell Bell. You have to hold it up a little bit. Yeah. Bell Bell.
Yay.
Oh, you playing with Bell Bell? Mm-hmm. You made sure she has food and water? Okay.
Hi, Bobo.
Double check on that food and water, make sure. That made me hate Windows 10, by the way. That spawned a hatred for it that shouldn't have existed in the first place. 100% because they did that.
I need to go back.
You
Oh, and the other nightmare situation was we one time had a guy, like a client, a doctor. He ended up getting the decryption virus on the server out on his workstation. Not on his private computer. On the fucking server. Because we found out that he's been going on to the server because he says it's faster. And directly going to websites and stuff like that. And he ended up not wanting to pay for like backup retention or anything like that. Like it was just like, oh, I'll handle it myself. You know, never handled it himself. Had no backups of a server, nothing. And the funny thing was, in desperation mode, because we were trying to fix it, like we were banging our heads against the wall trying to get that decryption virus all fucking sorted out. And then he, like, because you know it comes up saying like you have to pay this ransom, he decided upon himself to actually try to pay the ransom, which was like a $500 thing on the little node or whatever. And of course nothing happened. There was no solution sent or anything because it literally is just a big fucking virus that's meant to trick you.
Decay and rot. I'm afraid not.
Ransomware is nasty. I don't know how to go with it. Yeah, we ended up. We were able to recover some of the files using shadow copies that were set up a long time before that. But some of it was just completely boned. We just end up having to wipe it. And even the shadow copies, when we recovered them, were still like corrupted.
I'm afraid not.
Yeah. But we had to sit there individually, go through thousands upon thousands of files, EMRs, pictures, QuickBooks shit. I mean, it's crazy. Which, by the way, I hate QuickBooks too. I don't know if you ever work with QuickBooks much, but that is like one of the most easily corrupted file system ever. And that's one of those ones, if people aren't making backups of it, then you just like, you want to bang your head against the wall. Yeah, all the time, man. Actually, we had a new hire one time, and I was trying to train them, you know, and they were sitting behind me, and I was like, all right, now look, what's happening with this client is they have QuickBooks. They have this issue. Every business I support uses QuickBooks, yeah. I was like, they have this issue where right now they go to open it, it gives up this error message. I was like, so what we're gonna do is we're calling QuickBooks. We're getting on the phone, and then I was explaining to him like 90% of what you're gonna do for the first like few months is get on the phone with support for the programs that you're technically supposed to be supporting, because you know a lot of it's just shit that's dealt with it. It's a lot of EMR crap, you know. So it's not like you can fix the EMR. You pretty much have to end up your fancy support. So I was like, so right now what's going on is this QuickBooks file is saying this error. You know, we looked into it. It's just something that we got to get on the phone with QuickBooks to fix. So we're going to get on the phone. It was a 6-hour phone call with QuickBooks trying to fix it. So at that point, I think it was like 3 hours in, I look behind me, the person's dead asleep, sitting in the chair. And I'm just like, what the fuck? They were snoring away, dead asleep. My boss walked in. I tried to like kick them a little bit. They still didn't wake up. And I was like, alright. Yeah. There's no Google fix for an all scripts issue or something like that. You have to get on support. If it's something minor, like errors and installations and stuff like that, it's not bad. But once you get down to the nitty gritty of it and it's having problems with connecting to the server base or something like that, it ends up being something more deep rooted with the actual program itself. I remember one EMR that was so backwards ass. It was like, I felt like I was dealing with a caveman program. They came with an installation file, but what they didn't tell you is that they have another file that you have to install behind the installation file to fix the installation file. Then you have to move the folders from the file itself off the computer onto the server every time you install it. So I was like, what the fuck is this caveman shit? Man, my first year was ridiculous. Like I said, the company 90% works with EMRs. I mean, you know, a lot of it was just simple troubleshooting of like kernels or, you know, viruses, or power source goes down, or some kind of shit. But that first year, it was like, good God. I don't mean to harp on doctors. Do you ever work with doctors much? Because these guys are assholes most of the time. No offense to doctors in here. There's a doctor in here, but a good 70% of them were just assholes. Anyway, you could say it was a glorified help desk.
I'm afraid not.
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
I have a dentist and eyebrow, and also on a chiropractic clinic that I do work for. I'll tell you, chiropractors, man, they are the nicest fucking people I've ever worked with in my life. I mean, the nicest fucking people. Great example. Okay, so I had a client who was a chiropractor. I went often to his work because he was expanding his building, so he was getting new rooms and everything like that. So every time I'd go there, he'd come up to me and be like, "Saxon, how's the family, man? How's everything going?" I'm like, "Oh, it's good, you know, blah, 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 blah." Well, at one point or another, I found out I had a degenerative disc disease in my back. I know that sounds terrible. It's not an actual disease. It just means my bone marrow is wearing out in my spine. So, I went to the doctors, you know, I got like x-rays, all this shit. I ended up going to physical therapy. But I went to his office, and it was like maybe like the week after I found out what was going on with me, because I've been having little back pains here and there all the time, you know. And so he was like, "Oh, look," he said, "get your x-rays, get your doctor to send them to me." He was like, "I'm going to take a look at you. Let me, you know, work with you. I can work with your back, you know, all this other stuff." So he literally, for free, just basically took a look at my x-rays, worked with my back. Once a week, I'd go to him. He'd work on my back and stuff like that and feel fucking wonderful, you know? I mean, the nicest guy I've ever seen in my life. Chiropractors. The only other time I've ever had like a doctor be nice was eye, nose, and throat doctor. Eye, ear, nose, and throat doctor. He every time I'd go, he'd check up on me too. He'd be like, "How's the allergies this season? You doing all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing good." And he'd be like, "You know, you have any problems? You having a problem hearing or anything?" Because at one point I was, and I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Hey, let me take a look." And he'd take a look and fix me up and everything. And 2 out of the, 200 clients were actually nice. The rest of them, all what they do is either bitch at you or complain that their computer's too slow when, I mean, it's only because your computer is like, 6 years old. We can get you a new computer. Oh no, I don't want to spend money on a new computer. But I just bought a new Corvette. Oh my god. And that's what always killed me. And I'm kind of going on a rant here and a tangent right now. But one of the biggest things that ever got to me was that we would have these clients, and they were doctors, blah, blah, blah. They're making money, a lot of money. And we had this one that would never want to upgrade anything, like always took the cheapest way. If his computer, like if his 10-year-old computer that his main office manager was using, well, fuck that. No, switch it out with the 11-year-old computer. Make it work. What's the cheapest this, cheapest that? Just literally ran his business like he was broke. Constantly. So I had this like misconception that this dude is just struggling. This dude's struggling. He's gotta be having a hard time or something, Well, one day he decided, like, he ordered from us for his home. He wanted a entertainment server. He wanted us to set up a server that he could house all these movies and everything, and then stream it directly to his different devices around his house. So we ended up having to go to his house to do all this, and I drive up, and this motherfucker lives in a goddamn golf community, for one, alright? It's like a golf community. For two, he had a home theater in his house. I'm not talking about like a big TV and like maybe like 4 seats. No, it was literally like a theater sized place with a projection screen and everything like that. A huge, gigantic wall that he would project it on. He had a pool, tennis court, swimming pool. I mean, just it was ridiculous. And I'm sitting there the whole time. I'm like, your manager, your office manager, who's been working for you for fucking like 15 years now, is using an 11-year-old computer because you didn't feel like paying just for a new computer for her. But good God. Lawyers are the most squeaky customers? Well, I've only worked with one. We only had one client that was a lawyer that I actually worked with. And I never saw them. Not once. In the history of working 6 years with them, I never once actually saw him. I always just dealt with everybody else. He was always like either doing something or gone. I don't know. To stay rich, you gotta act broke, I guess. Well, I mean, he was acting broke at work. But when you got to his house, holy shit. I mean, it was crazy. But I guess that's how some people are too. Like, they treat their business like just pure business, you know. Even if someone's been working for you for 15 years, they still treat them like a stranger, you know. And it's that mentality that kind of gets to me sometimes too, because like I like to think that you spend what 8 or 9 hours a day with someone. You'd want to get to know them. You'd want to actually enjoy working with them, or you know, have some sense of closeness to it, because you literally spend a good fucking 70% of your day around them. Now, granted, I've had people I work with that I just plain hate, but you know.
I must wait longer.
I'm always having to explain to customers how human efficiency saves them money. Yeah. Like, you know how efficient it is to have a fast computer at a doctor's office and have one that takes like 20 minutes to load something? Also, dual screens at doctor's offices help so much, because you can have the EMR up on one and the chart up on another. They're able to look at all the stuff, you know. Just stuff like that just helps so much to be able to make it more efficient for them. I've had some clients though, man. There was this one guy who was a business owner, and he was the one that was just like, what do we need to get? And be like, you need a new printer. Get it. What kind of printer do I need? And be like, well, this one would probably be the best. Get it. All right, next. What else do I need? He was just like, bam, bam, bam. His business was all, he grew, I think, like 5 more stores and all kind of other stuff. He didn't, every time I call him and be like, hey, look, you need to get this, you know, this ran out. He'd be like, get it. Don't care. Whatever I need, whatever you think works, bam, do it. And it was amazing. It was so great. I didn't have to sit there and try to be like, all right, well, I can get you this cheapo hard drive to replace the current hard drive, but it's only gonna band-aid the problem, and you're still gonna have the problem of me putting a brand new hard drive in a like 8-year-old machine. So, you know, it's funny too, because he used to drive around a big yellow Hummer. So every time I go, you know, we'd have like business meetings, and sometimes he'd take us out to like lunch, you know. whenever I'd go open up a new store with him, you know, and set up everything, and he'd drive us around in a giant yellow Hummer. Amazing guy too. Every time I'd go, some of the stores would be like, you know, 3-4 hours away, and I'd have to make a drive, sometimes like 6 hours, and sometimes I'd have to go just to fix like a simple solution, like the Wi-Fi is out, and I'd try to troubleshoot it on the phone with the person, but you know, we couldn't get it fixed on the phone, so I'd have to go out there. And he'd be like, you know what? Let me get you a hotel. You know, you can stay in a hotel tonight. I feel bad for you driving all the way out here, then have to drive all the way back, and all this other stuff. He was
I am returning to
an amazing person to work for, compared to some of the other assets.
Yours.
That's how my main customer is. I suggest that they buy it. That's the best kind of customers, man. It makes it so easy. It makes your job just go by so smoothly.
Fate smiles on you today.
And they pay you well to put it in.
What? I didn't even know I had that thing. See you soon. My bag is full.
Oh. Hasn't really benefit me at all, though.
Let's see what happens, shall we?
I mean, I don't care about the movement speed. I'd rather have a primal ancient instead of that.
Prove yourself worthy.
We had this one business. It was kind of annoying because they were a little bit like far away. They're about like a 2-hour drive from where we were, and a lot of the people that worked there were like younger kids, and not, you know, they weren't really tech savvy, but they kind of knew their way around a little bit. And so like, for instance, if like, let's say the network started having problems, they try to troubleshoot it themselves before calling us, which would always anger the manager, and most of the time they'd end up just breaking everything. And one time I had one that actually tried to, he couldn't get into the router because of course we have everything password protected and everything. So he found the router, hard reset the router, and then wondered why nothing worked after that, like content filter or anything else like that. And so when I get on the phone and I'm trying to troubleshoot it, because he couldn't bring the router back up, you know, and I'm like, well, you know, let's try to figure this out. Ended up driving out there, finding out what he did. Oh, it was terrible.
These enemies defy all reason.
You ever had a, oh, okay, this is a funny question, but you ever had someone that was like, I need you to erase some emails and some browser history for me. You ever had that happen to you? Because, yeah, I've had that happen once, and it was very awkward, because he was like, I need you to come by my house and, yeah, take a look at my computer. I think I might have a virus. And I show up, and he's like, he pulls me aside, and he goes, okay, look, I think my wife has access to my emails and my text messages. I'm like, all right. And he's like, I don't want her to have access to it anymore. And I was like, okay. And he's like, in fact, can you just go ahead and clear off some history and maybe clear off some emails? And I'm like, all right. You know, his wife is there at the time, so it was the most awkward shit. Because he's like, honey, we're gonna borrow your computer a bit because we think you might have a virus. And she's like, I don't know, I haven't had any problems with it. And he's like, no, definitely problem. Doesn't he? You know, doesn't she have a virus? And he's like winking at me. They're getting all awkward. I don't feel comfortable with this. And then the funniest thing was too that her parents lived with her, right? And her parents didn't speak English at all. They were French, right? And they didn't know how to speak English, just pure French. So we're at one point or another, we're sitting down in front of her parents, and he's like, "Now look, just make sure she has no access to this and this and this." And I'm kind of like looking at them in a sense, because I'm like, you're talking pretty loud, and her parents are like right there. And he kind of noticed. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about them. They don't speak English at all." And for some reason, I just had this envisionment of the episode of Scrubs where what was it? Turk's wife's brother acted like he couldn't speak English at all, but in fact he spoke fluent English the whole time. And I was half expecting that to happen again. It's just like they probably understand every single word he is saying, you know. Oh Lord, you had the porn thing happen. Yeah, I've had that happen a few times. I've had one guy that was suspicious that one of his workers was looking at it at work. I had to actually report one to the FBI for various reasons. That was a very interesting phone call because I've never had that happen before, but we had to like end up calling the FBI, and I was like, what do I dial? I don't even know. Just dial 911. 1-800-FBI? I'm not sure how to fucking handle it. And that's good that you're own. I think you were stating that before, that you're your own boss, you know. So I like to have that. Actually, the company that I work for, it's a little small company. We were like 5 or 6 techs, whatever, depending on, you know, whether or not he would keep 1 or 2 around. But we had like 200 plus clients. So I still kind of had to adhere to the company thing, so whether or not I felt something was morally right or I felt comfortable doing something, sometimes I still had to call my boss and be like, look, I 100% don't feel comfortable about this, you know, or something like that. Which I've only had to do maybe like once or twice throughout the whole thing. It's just like, I really don't feel comfortable with this, you know, or I don't feel comfortable here. I need to leave. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
That is not possible.
I went out on my own. I work for a company here in my own town. I worked for one of those done that where we put child porn and turned it in. Turned out it was a picture of his grandkid on the bathtub. I felt so bad. It was really part of it. Oh man. Ours actually started because the wife brought in his computer because it was acting funny. And she wanted to get it fixed for his birthday. And then that's when we found the stuff, and I was like, what the fuck? And this was definitely not no grandkids. So we were kind of like, oh shit.
I'm afraid not.
Yeah. 12 years and you hadn't had to deal with it? Grats, man, because it's a shitty situation all around. I mean, they're assholes, the people that you report in the first place, but it's still just an awkward whole fucking thing, you know?
I need to go back.
But then again, fuck those guys. You know? I still love though when people would call and be like, the guy, he'd be like, hey look, I've been looking at pornography, I fucked up my computer, I need you to just clean it, just wipe it, rebuild it. I'm like, alright. He's like, I've infected it beyond repair, I just need it clean. Alright. That was the funniest when they were just completely open about it, you know, just straight up like, I've been looking at porn, I picked up viruses, I need you to clean it. Instead of ones that are like, I don't know how I got a virus. I don't understand. All I do is go, I take pictures from my phone and I put them on my computer and all of a sudden I got this terrible virus. I don't know how.
Enemies of the Nephilim surround you.
Yeah, that means you know use virtual bombs. Let me show you how to not have this happen. I don't know if you dealt with it much. We had a lot of clients that used to use Mac computers, and they do virtual machines of Windows, because a lot of the EMRs don't work on Macs. And that was the most annoying thing too, because they wanted to use Macs because they were like comfortable or they liked Mac. But since their software didn't work on Macs, they were like, well, we'll buy Macs and then just, you know, use the virtual machine. That shit always had more problems than it was worth. I mean, you're literally just using a Mac for the side. Like, they don't do anything on the Mac side. Ever. So then what's the point? But that was always a rough one to deal with. Such a pain in the most scared tried it and went back to PC. Yeah. They had one doctor that would just swear by Mac. Everything's got to be Mac. But all the software he was using wouldn't work on Mac. So every time we'd have an issue with the virtual machines, he'd be like, see, this is why I don't like PCs. Look at the problems you're having with Windows. I'm like, it's not, you're not understanding. It's not the problem with Windows, it's the virtual that we're having a problem with. It's just that whole concept and idea of I need PCs, but I want to run it Macs instead. You got a lot more experience though. I did it for around, I was going on 6 years before I got laid off. So 12 years, man. Dude. I always got the most relaxation out of crimping wires, Cat 5s and Cat 6s, and running wires. That to me was always the funnest, because it was just like the most laid back. You cut, you crimp, you run, you cut holes in the walls, you know. Run it along the ceiling. It's just relaxing. I enjoyed it. That aspect of it was like the favorite part, which technically has nothing to do with the technical side. So anytime they ever had a new business and they'd be like, alright, so who wants to go, you know, set up the network and then run the wires and everything, I'd always be the first one to do it. I'd do it. Wish I had enough business to give you a job. You hate installs? Oh no, That's a big. I don't know. There's just something about it. I love it.
I can't do that.
The only time I didn't like it was when a building had terrible design. Like, there was one, and it was the front counter, right? And in the front counter, they had these corners because it was bent. And in these corners, they designed these giant dead spaces, right? But for some reason, the holes that they drilled for the computer wires were right dead center into these giant dead spaces where we had no access to. It was blocked off. So what we ended up having to do was run the wire down, drill a hole on either side of it, and then use a coat hanger and fish the wire. That's the only time I hated it. When it just became like, oh my god, the design work on some of these buildings, you know? There's every building that's out. Every building is out to fuck you. It's like, where I live, a lot of the buildings are newer. They're within the last like 10 years. Now, when I get to more of like in different areas that had like older buildings, and I'm talking about like, you know, 30 years old plus. They were, yeah, their design was just fucking atrocious. But luckily where I'm living, it's kind of like a lot of the buildings were newer and stuff like that. So they were more designed with in mind for wires and technology, and not just like a phone line, you know, or something like that. Because you'd be surprised. There's like apartment buildings out here that are like 50 years old, you think, that just has never seen you know, like a cable modem before, and like just look, Dallas, Oregon, which was estimated. Yeah. Yeah, you know, some of those builds might be a little bit old. But I mean, that's the thing, is like a lot of those old buildings, I mean, it wasn't about, you know, they weren't thinking like, man, we need a TV in every room. They were just thinking, we have to have good insulation so we don't get, you know, cold in the winter and hot in the summer. But now it's like, I mean, every room has a TV or some kind of network run or Cat 5 or something like that, you know. And a lot of the business buildings are actually just houses that they transformed into businesses. And they're just older houses, you know. I live in Louisiana. Everything down here is muggy, nasty, and fucked up weather. At least, have you ever had to deal with floods before where you're at? Because, like I said, I live in Louisiana, and actually last year, my own house flooded about an inch into my bedroom. We've had businesses where it's flooded 4 inches into the building. I actually had one business, it was like 2 years ago, where it flooded about 2 feet because the runoff got clogged where their business was near. And they were at the lowest point, so all the water just kind of pooled towards them. They lost every electronic thing in there, servers, computers. They had to start from scratch with their business. I mean, it was pretty crazy undertaking. New wires, servers, computers, printers, the machines, because they were like a machine shop.
Will make a fine corpse.
I can't exactly remember what they did. I think it was they repaired, like, they took oil field piping and repaired it, if I remember correct. Or threaded it? I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what they did. Yeah, we'd always try to tell our, like, our customers whenever I was working for them that, like, you need to keep the server at least, like, 4 feet off the ground. And they kind of laugh, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. You really do need to keep your business, like, 4 feet off the ground. But some of them, like, you know, come from other places. Electrical surges is what kills us the most out here. Just having lightning strike buildings. I was in a building when it got struck by lightning. I was standing in the server room while my partner, who was he was talking to the owner, trying to explain what was going on with their computer, you know, because we had to two-man it at the time, because basically one of the computers was having an issue with connecting to the server, but then we come to find out that it was deeper rooted than that, and it was one of the Cat 5s burned out, and it was causing an issue with the switch itself communicating to the router. It was a long story, but I was in the server room, I was waiting, I was looking at just making sure everything was finalized and set up, and then all of a sudden I just hear like a shotgun, and that was the lightning striking the building, and it fried everything in the building. I literally like ran out of the room like, what the fuck?
I need to go back.
Yeah. I'd say fried everything. There were some things that survived, but yeah, they needed to replace quite a bit. I remember I was actually looking at one of the Cat 5s on the wall socket, because it traveled through the Cat 5s and ended up frying most of the the Wi-Fi ports and stuff like that. But the actual wall socket was just black, like it fried it completely. I need to move to the northwest, my friend. I wouldn't mind it, man. Me and the missus have actually talked about moving quite a bit. It's just the only bad thing is that she's a teacher, and I mean, right now I'm open to move anywhere, but she teaches, so it's kind of hard to, because you have to like time it right, you know, because they end up having to sign contracts and shit like that saying, you know, that they can't drop their job in the middle of it. But I'd always be down to move, man. I actually prefer like colder areas myself. My brother, I mean, we were born and raised in Louisiana. He actually moved to Texas for a little while and then moved to New York. So now he's living in New York, living it up. Super jelly of it.
Weakness consumes you.
Oh man. Okay, so my daughter's been obsessed with these fidget spinner things because apparently they're like gaining popularity left and right. And then I see, and I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't understand. And then again, when I was a kid, they always had some kind of fad that I was like, oh my god, I must have. But it's funny because it's literally just like a little spinner thing. You hit it, it spins. But it's like all the rage right now. And the other day I went to Walmart and we went shopping and shit, and I just saw like kids walking around with them just all over Walmart, just spinning them. You boys want them so bad? I mean, okay, I'm saying I don't understand. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to collect shit all the time, and you know, different things became like the fad at the time, you know. But I was mainly played video games, you know. Always been a big gaming fan, but I don't understand it completely. I'm like, so now she's kind of trying to learn to do tricks with them, you know. But I think that's the first time I ever hit like that the point in my dad life where my daughter's old enough to where she kind of wants something that's like a fad type deal, and I've never hit that point where I'm like, man, let's just go buy one for you then, and then could not find them. They're sold out everywhere. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, we drove around for hours, and I'm like, I don't understand it. Can I just order this off the internet? I mean, that's how I get everything, you know? So we went to go order it off Amazon, and then it was like, oh, it'll be shipped by Tuesday. I'm like, well, you'll get it Tuesday, baby. And then, like, Tuesday came around, and it didn't come in. They're like, well, orders have been delayed. We're like, oh, God. I mean, when I was a kid, I think the three fads that I remember that were like huge and everybody had to have them in school. Yeah, I think they're coming from China, probably so. I mean, the ones that we got, they were all like that. Three fads that I remember when I was younger was one was Beanie Babies. Those were huge at one point or another. Furbies, which are still kind of around, but at one point Furbies was like the huge thing. Like, I remember kids, you know, they'd bring them into school, like, oh my god, I got a Furby, and I'm like, that's cool. I was playing, you know, Super Mario RPG the other day, and they're like, was it a Furby RPG? I had a Furby though, but and then the other one was wrestling. Wrestling was huge when I was a kid too. Like, I mean, it was everywhere, toys, and every kid was talking about it. Wrestling's kind of fallen out a little bit. Remember the No Fear t-shirt? Yeah, I remember those. I remember, I was like, it was maybe high school, and it was when like music started to become prevalent in, you know, our lives or whatever as children. You know, before it was more like physical, and then it became the, you know, metaphorical sounds and stuff like that. So it started getting into music. And I remember I really had a broad range of music that I liked, you know. I never really thought about it before. But one of the big things when I was at that point was like hardcore metal rock, you know, like, and I say hardcore metal rock, but like I think around like Slipknot and Korn and all those were coming out, and it was like back then. And I remember just kids everywhere wearing those t-shirts, and then they started wearing the you know, the strappy pants and stuff like that. Oh, pogs. Oh man. I had some pogs myself. I'm not gonna lie. Those things were fun. They fell out. I actually played the game though. I mean, I kind of like, I got a bunch of them, but I actually like to play pogs themselves. But that was my problem as a kid, though. It's like, I was always kind of like, I don't know. I was into like video games and, you know, drawing and doing art and stuff like that. And I was a very awkward kid. I couldn't speak to people properly. I still have problems communicating my thoughts across properly without sounding either awkward or, you know, something like that. And I know it seems weird, but I actually have like an antisocial disorder type deal thing with me where I have problems meeting people in real life. And like this, like I can talk to anyone all day, all day, and I love it. But like if you ever meet me in real life, I'll seize up. And I'll just be like, yeah, you know. And it takes a while for me to like break out of that, you know. And it's just kind of strange, and it's always. And this is gonna sound so like out of a documentary, but it helps me to do this kind of stuff, to relax and let me communicate, because then I can talk and I can actually feel relaxed and stuff like that. Yeah, it gives me an outlet to actually. Do this kind of stuff, and it's like when I used to play like WoW or something like that. It's the same thing, you know. Because I remember I was in a guild, and you know we were raiding and all that fun jazz all the time. And one of our guildies actually came down to where we were living at, and he was like, "Hey, you want to meet up?" And I was like, And then my other friend was like, "Yeah, let's meet up and stuff." And I was like, "Okay, we can meet up." And we ended up meeting up. It was me, Happy Camper. I don't know if you know Happy Camper from the other day. He's a guy I play games with quite a bit. But we met up, and you know, afterwards he left, and he you know, got on WoW later on that week, and he was like, "I just gotta say, you are nothing like you are when we talk. You know, you were like really reserved and quiet and all this other stuff." And I was like, "You know, man, and I'm sorry about that. You know, yeah, the hot stream, that guy. I'm like, you know, I'm really reserved. I'm quiet. You know, I'm sorry. You know, don't take it the wrong way. It's not something like, you know, I was awkward or anything like that. It's just I have this weird anxiety issue, you know." And he was like, "Oh no, it was strange, you know, because like it's not. I literally didn't know it was you until you talked a little bit more, because then, you know, at first you were just really just drawn back, and throughout the night you were really drawn back." And I was like, "Yes, you know, I apologize." And I mean, I have some friends from WoW that I still talk to on like a daily basis, you know, and they're really good friends, you know, people that you keep. And I haven't made those kind of friends in any other, like, you know, like any other kind of MMO outlet, because a lot of times nowadays, these MMOs nowadays, they don't have like communication with guilds and stuff like that. Like in WoW, original WoW for sure, if you wanted to do any kind of like in-game content at all, you needed to get 40 people together, and those 40 people needed to communicate and work well, you know. And it didn't matter any kind of content, you know. If you wanted to even look at Molten Core, you had to do that. Nowadays you can just do like a quick queue for a molten core, and you get to look at it. And a lot of people don't really get in the guilds anymore and stuff like that. You know, they're trying to push the hardcore content. They usually just pug the shit out of it. So those forced interactions always built that. And I don't mean to get all like super deep with all this crap. You know, and not even deep, but I don't mean to like completely sidetrack with it, but it's I find I'm able to be more loose and fluent on here than I am able to actually communicate otherwise. I'm having really bad luck with this. Still trying to get an ancient to fill some better slots.
Fortune favors the bold.
Let's see here. We got anything good? Let's take a look.
I've dug out some interesting things on my latest dig.
Whoa.
You should take a look.
Oh, yeah. It's half a second I didn't recognize it. Actually, I like that potion. It's pretty funny. Alright, so let's see. Missing health. Doesn't really matter. Do I have a ancient pestilence chest? Nope. But that's where a lot of my background comes from, is like playing MMOs and stuff like that. I did play a lot of fighting games though, and I went to a lot of tournaments, but I always really just kept to myself and just played in the tournaments. I was not bad. I was actually pretty good at it. We had this one guy though, James Winters. Oh, that dude, he fucking was amazing at fighting games. He was a natural. He was one of those just fucking naturals at it. Alright, sounds good, man. He could pick up any fighting game, and within like a week, he'd be winning tournaments in it. He was crazy good at it. Let's see, one sec, guys.
A mighty adversary is before us.
I grow weak.
Sorry about that. Sneezes going crazy. Alright. Oh, I'm dead. music of this plays. It sounds like sort of triumphant, and then it just dies back down.
The night embraces you. I'm afraid not.
They should have run when they had the
Oh god. Damn, that was right. That guy did mention that helm. I forgot I wanted to try that out.
The night embraces you.
I started getting. Man, I lost track of what I was. There was a helm that was for revive, that would revive a monster that was 50% stronger than normal. I wanted to try that out. I forgot about that. Well, I need more depth for us. It's been kind of a death birth.
I'm afraid not. Do not fear the end. The night embraces you. All must serve the cycle. That is not possible.
No, I'm liking this. Kind of reminds me of the old school Necromancer. A little bit more with the pets and stuff like that on the other side. Not exactly better than the other set, but it's fun nonetheless. I think with like the right optimization, it would be actually a lot better too. Instead of just having like mismatched ancient items, actually have a cohesive build set around it, you know? No, the problem is trying to actually build this build in a season is going to be a pain in the butt. Just starting off fresh, you know. take quite a while. Now, if I can get me a Heart of Iron, man, I will try out a Thorns build too. I just need me an ancient Heart of Iron. I know they didn't upgrade the drop rate on legendaries because they basically made it to where you could purchase all the necromancer stuff instead of having to try to fish for it with just increasing the drop rate of all the legendaries like they normally do for PTR. But I kind of wish they did, that way I could get other legendaries or have more of a chance of getting them to try out the other builds, you know? Like other ones that you could set up with this build. So far, it's pretty fun though. Wait, what do I have in my hand? Ah, elements. Okay. Alright, what do we got? Nope.
See what you'll get?
Alright, let's see. What are we going to continue to try for? I mean, we can continue to try for boots, but I really don't think there's any other boots that are worth it. I could try for some better gloves that actually have cooldown reduction on them.
Do come back again. Well,
If I can get some gloves with some cooldown reduction, whoo, that'd be nice. Pretty damn sweet. Oh shit, what am I doing?
I've got some brand
Alright,
new
let's
goods
see.
you might be interested in.
Oh! Oh, fuck, though. They're ancient. They're perfect roll on the increased attack speed. But they have terrible stats.
Don't take that Templar with you. He'll put you to sleep with all of his blathering.
Shit. Well, maybe, I don't know. Depends on what I could switch it out for, you know? God, that sucks. If only I had cooldown reduction, it would make it worth it. Even then, I still think it might even be worth it. Alright, let's see. What could we switch out Tasker and Theo technically for? Each stunned enemy wouldn't be bad. I wonder. No, it wouldn't work out well. Because I'd still have to spam Corpse Lance. The golem's damage. I mean, that's okay. York Crown. I don't know even then. Even if we did switch out these, what would be the point? Like, what could we switch it out for? Enough of that. I'm going to save them. Be able to take a look at them later. that sucks though. If it had good rolls on it.
Prove yourself worthy.
Oh god. Am I sure they didn't increase the drop rate of legendaries? Because I'm really starting to feel that they probably still did. You guys are like caught on that. There we go. Oh my god. That was awesome. Those brutes that I was raising were immediately jumping on top of them and doing damage. So it was just like stacking up. That's really neat. Alright. Starting to try to work out what I might want to do in there. I really wish they would change the pants for Golem too. The Golem pants currently, basically it increases the damage of your Golem by up to like 150% and reduces damage you take by 25%. As long as you are a certain amount of yards near the Golem. The problem with that is that the Golem's AI is shit. It's total shit. He just kind of sometimes he'll wander around and do his own thing. So trying to stay near your Golem sometimes becomes a task. So if they would just make it global, I honestly don't think it would be that much of a like devastating buff to where, you know, it's OP. I think it would still be strong. You know, it's a 25 damage reduction, but it also make it to where you want to use your Golem. You know, you could build it with that in mind, with, oh my god, with that in mind for it, you know? Oh, yeah. I wonder what it is that calculates what you revive when you use Land of the Dead revive. Is it just the random amount of the mobs that are the models for this level? Or is it like the last few mobs that you res that it just re-reses them all? Kind of wonder what dictates what is actually coming out when you do it. Oh shit. Nope, 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 nope. Oh fuck. Wasn't paying attention to what was underneath me. That's another thing I could use as a pair of bracers. Maybe the ones that legendaries are the ones that when you stun a target you take reduced damage for the ones those wouldn't be too bad. Okay. Where is it? Alright, let's see what we get.
I've got some brand new goods you might be interested
Nothing. Nothing. Alright,
Fortune
let's
favors
see
the bold.
we're going for some better gloves.
I didn't even know I
I
had
cannot
that
afford
thing.
that.
Oh well. Alright, guys. We've been live for about over 3.5 hours. It's a little past lunch. My daughter is kind of coming in here. She's getting a little hungry, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go get her something to eat. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't host somebody real quick, and I'll be back maybe in about like an hour or two. Go check up on her and everything. Make sure she's doing all right. And I will be back, guys. Thank y'all again for all y'all patience too with all this. Let's see here. Let's find ourselves someone to host. Let's see. Who's doing some necro testing? Oh, this guy. He's doing necro testing. That's good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and host him. Thank you guys for tuning in for right now. I'll be back in maybe 2 hours or so. Just going to go check up on my daughter, making sure everything's all right, make her some food for lunch and all that fun jazz. Thank y'all again. Appreciate it. Y'all are wonderful. Let's see. There we go. This guy. Gonna host this guy. Thank y'all again. Take care.